Welcome to musicmoveit.com, and today we're going to discuss throwing album release parties. I'm sure all of you have heard about them. There's, an artist or a band releases music and they throw a release party. Now I want to discuss the value of this and the importantness of it, if that makes any sense. So basically there's a couple of different kind of parties you should think about. The first one is a listening party. Now this is when you get key people together. It's generally when your album is either almost finished or finished but not totally ready for release yet. Maybe you haven't picked out all the tracks you're going to use yet, because a lot of artists and bands will record like 40 tracks and then pick only like 15 to 20 or whatnot for the album. So a listening party is kind of to get feedback from key people that you trust. Now, who would you invite to this party? Well, like friends, maybe some family, other people in the industry that are on your level as far as like what genre and things like that. Like I would invite other artists, a couple other bands to come in to give feedback. If you have a big enough fan base and you're fairly popular in your area, you can invite some of the press. If you have that kind of clout, you can invite DJs that you're tight with. If you have that kind of clout already, like club DJs, radio DJs, invite them to the studio, or you can invite them if you have a big enough studio. You really don't want to do things out of your home because it just looks kind of, unless you have like a mansion or something, but take it out to a separate place from your home. And I've seen people do it in cafes. They rent out like the back spot, do it there, back part of a club, things like that. So you get all these people together and you play them the tracks from your album. Ask them for feedback, what they like, what they don't like, constructive criticism. And that's basically what a listening party is. Sometimes a listening party is just thrown just for media with no criteria being thrown out there. It's just basically for the press and DJs to kind of listen, to get an exclusive listen to your upcoming album. So there's two different ways to go about the listening party. So of course, the release party should be thrown, usually they do it like the week of your release. You can do it whenever you want basically, but you want to do it a week or two before your release. I've seen people do it on their release day, but to me that's a little late. And it's basically to get some hype around it. Who would you invite to your release party? Well, it depends what level of popularity you're at in your career. If you're still fairly local, maybe regional, I would throw just a straight up party that the public is invited to if you want. You probably have to rent out like a club, or you could do it at a club on one of their nights. You just got to talk to the people there and be like, look, I want to throw a record release party here. You talk to the manager of the place and see what they can do for you. I've seen people do it in bars. I mean, not like dive bars, but decent little bars that maybe have a little stage or something. Yeah, I've seen it done in clubs. I've seen people rent out halls, where a hall where they do anything in. Basically, they'll do weddings, they'll do conferences, mini conferences, whatever. You can even do them there. But the thing is with these parties, it's out of your budget. Keep that in mind. Or if you have a label, they'll throw it, but which is still out of your budget because the label's going to want that money back anyway. But if you're an indie artist or you're independent, your own label, this is out of your budget. So keep that in mind. You want to do it though. Don't skip a release party because it builds hype. Now, who would you invite? Let's see. You would invite, like I said, if you're on a regional level, definitely, I'd probably make it public so everyone could come. Fans, you could gain new fans because other fans will bring other people that they know, and that's potential fans right there. I'd invite local press. It's hard to get them there if you're not that popular though, so don't get discouraged if they don't come. You can invite local DJs that you know, DJs in the club, DJs on radio who do mix shows and things like that. Again, sometimes they're hard to get at. If they don't come, don't be all pissed off. It's just how it is. But if you have that popularity, you can get these guys there no problem. And then generally I've seen, it depends on your budget again. I've seen things where they offer food for free for people, little appetizers throughout. I've been to some that have a bar, open bar for everyone, but that's like, some major level shit. And, or you could just do it. There's a bar there already. The people can pay for their own drinks, that's no problem with that. So you could do it at one of those places. You generally will perform at least a couple tracks off the new album. Generally, the DJ who's DJing the club or the bar will play tracks off the album as well. And if you want to make it more fun, you can invite maybe one or two other bands or artists to perform at your release party as well. They could be like the opening acts and warm up the crowd or whatever. Make sure you have a lot of promotional material there. You could give away posters, have those postcards or like this full color ones that have the album name, where they can buy it at, your website, good graphics on it, all that good stuff. Pass all that stuff out, get stickers, get whatever your budget can afford and what you want to do. You could give away stuff there. You could have like a raffle, which you can give away like a free CD, the new CD. You could give away t-shirts with your logo, your name, and all that good stuff at the release party. It's unlimited potential to hype things up and get a nice party going that promotes the release of your album. Now, if you have a bigger budget, of course, you could do a lot more. Like I said, you could offer free food. Sometimes they'll be like free food from 7 to 9 or something, or open bar 7 to 9. But if you don't, that's a lot of money. If you don't want to do the open bar, but you're still pretty popular, you could get these journalists in, bloggers, anyone that can help promote your album that you're tight with, or you're just popular enough, you could get them in, invite them. DJs, program directors, whoever could potentially help you out. And then you could do the same things. Sometimes they're not open to the public too, so you got to keep that in mind. They'll be open to like the press, all them people I just mentioned, family. This is like if you're really popular, you have a pretty good following. And sometimes they'll do contests where the artist or band will let like 50 fans come to their release party or something like that. That's if you don't want it to get out of control crazy. Because if you're fairly popular and you just let the public come to this, it could get out of hand and, you'll be shut down before you know it. So if you're really popular, you got a good following, you're indie, whatever, that's fine. You might just want to keep it key people that can help you out, and maybe some fans do a contest or something like that. So you just got to look at yourself and evaluate what is right for you, what you want to deal with, and how much money you want to spend. Years ago, when I was first starting out, I did my release party, and it was at this hip-hop spot in Cleveland area that was always popular. Like, they always did, like, freestyle battles and things like that. So it was a no-brainer to do it there because, the whole local scene was always there. So I did it at that place. There was a bar. People got their own drinks. The host of that show, the weekly battling show, let me do my thing there along with the show. So I got to perform. He hyped my album up, my CD up. I got to invite the press, people I worked with in the studio, family, and a bunch of fans and people in general in the industry that always came anyway. So it worked out perfectly. So think about things like that. Every city generally will have some kind of hip hop night or some kind of rock night or some kind of, whatever genre you are. They usually have a night where someone's performing, local bands, indie bands, and you could take advantage of that because everything is already in place. You just got to talk to the manager, or if there's someone that MCs the show on those certain nights, talk to them, see what you can do. So it's important though. But like I said, it's kind of like a timeline thing. Do it a week or two before. You want to do it, and if you're also tight with radio, you can get the DJs to announce it, possibly. You can, especially if it's something for the public, you could tell one of the DJs to say, hey, can you announce it on air? Such and such album release party is so now you might have to pay for the advertising as well too. But there's so many ways to go about it. You just got to figure out how popular you are, or how you feel you are, to what's going to be right and controlled. You don't want a crazy crowd. You don't want to get, so much stuff could go wrong. So, but that's that. You need to do that. Record release, album release parties are important, as are listening parties. So don't forget to do both of them, Now, please, if you liked this video, give it a thumbs up. Also, today's sponsor for this video is yourmusicrelease.com. That's www.yourmusicrelease.com. You go there, there's a wonderful guide there that teaches you, tells you, instructs you how to release an album from start to finish. It's a step-by-step guide. It deals with, recording, publishing, copyright. It also deals a little bit with like the release party and things like that. So it's a wonderful guide. You could download it. It's an instant download, and you could read it on anything, computer. You could read it on a Kindle. You can read it on your iPhone, your Android phone, whatever. You can even print it if you want. So check that out, yourmusicrelease.com. If you like this video, please subscribe if you haven't yet. I truly appreciate it. Leave me some comments and tell me what you want to talk about next, or tell me about if you've had success with listening parties and or release parties on prior releases that you've done. Give me some feedback. I love to read the comments. I love to hear from you. And I will see you next video. Thank you.